Kamusta,
Okay.
Gerry?
Okay lang.
That's my foot.
Pagod, pagod?
Yeah, sarap.
So slowly, we're getting there.
Lapit na, lapit
One
na.
step at a time.
Okay.
Kobe, how is he
Okay.
doing?
Very good.
Very good na, galing.
Amazing. Almost there, Gerry.
Man,
Okay,
this is
now,
your mission, dude.
Wait on.
Congratulations.
So after the hike, Gerry, Dennis, and I thought about doing another adventure. So I got in touch with Ate Baby from Resources of the Blind and Sir Leo from Bavic. These are the words of my friend Gerry.
We all have different journeys and adventures in life. There are trails that are easy and some are difficult. That's why they say life is an adventure. Even at a young age, I always loved the outdoors. I was part of the Philippine Dragon Boat rowing team. I ran 5 kilometers 3 to 4 times a week. I'd go biking from Manila to Tagaytay. I played basketball, volleyball, and other sports. In 1990, everything changed. At the early age of 21, I got into an accident and lost my sight. My perception in life became very dark. The once free-spirited Gerry had become dependent on other people. I lost about 90% of what a normal man can do. Life has to go on, as they say. So I decided to make use of the remaining 10% of my capabilities. I started going out again, reaching out to family and friends. Then I got involved into parasports, sports for the differently abled. I became a silver medalist in 2003 in Vietnam during the Southeast Asian Games in shot put. I earned more medals as I got more involved into sports. Last year, I retired from parasports. I'm now on a search for the next chapter of my adventure. I never thought that climbing mountains would be next. I was told I was the first visually impaired who summited that mountain. My experience on that mountain was so surreal. Reaching the summit of that mountain was like winning the gold medal I never had. I wish they played the national anthem that time. The cheers of my fellow climbers and the strong wind took my breath away. And when I felt small droplets of rain on my face and started raining, it was like God was blessing my first summit. Surviving the dangerously wet, slippery, and muddy trail going down that majestic mountain was the most challenging part of the climb. I can say that the team did a very good job in planning and handling our exploits. Cheers to my friend Walter and the local guides who patiently and carefully guided me throughout my adventure. When I heard my team was planning to have an advocacy with the blind sector, I was thrilled. Climbing has become more meaningful to me. Sharing the adventure with the visually impaired kids is undoubtedly a brilliant idea. Exposing these kids to nature and taking them out of their comfort zone is quite a challenge, and yet will be a very fulfilling effort. I'm very much looking forward to our next adventure with the kids.
As mountaineers, we have always experienced the beauty of the mountains, but this beauty is something that we want to share to others. And we also want to learn more about how we can extend this definition of this beauty to something that goes beyond what we see. By inviting blind teens to join us in the mountains, we are able to include them in the outdoor activities. We're able to show the world that they are very welcome to the mountains. And even more importantly, they can teach us a lot about how we can widen our experience of the outdoors by engaging all our senses. So I think this will be a fun activity. I think it'll be very rewarding for the kids. I'm so excited to see what they will do and how they will react to the experience. And I think it'll be very enriching for all of us. I think that it's very important for people not to feel limited by their disabilities, but for people to focus instead on what they can do. And people can do a lot. Whatever your disability is, you can always do something about it. And the outdoors is such a good venue for that. Because the mountain is a test, it's a challenge. It's not easy to climb a mountain, but if we can do it together, it will also empower us into believing that we can do things in our lives.
So we brought 2 friends along with us. This is Kobe. He's a monster. I knew him since he was born. He's been climbing since he was 9. He's talented, humble, and always all out to help others. A great leader and has done big climbs locally and abroad. He's the best guy to guide Gerry. Kathy is a good friend. She's one strong hiker and has done numerous hikes in and outside the country. She also has the patience and the heart to serve others. She likes to converse with people. She will be perfect to guide Ate Baby. Ram has proven so much in the mountaineering industry. He has gained so much experience in such a short span. He spends more time in the mountains than at home. He's also done hikes outside the country. He can handle Steven's enthusiasm. We also have Bugs. Serving others and mountaineering are not new to him. He's a registered nurse and he knows what it takes to help others. He has also done a number of hikes in and outside the Philippines. He'll be guiding JC. Brent is one enthusiastic guy. He just loves mountains. He never runs out of energy. He has enough experience to guide and lead a group. He may be scrawny, but he is one strong man. Mark will be his buddy on this hike. JC is the new kid on the block. He's a sponge right now. He learns fast and is a curious George. His enthusiasm could help Jason's eagerness to reach the summit. We were blessed to have Daryl on board. Not only he's a strong and experienced hiker, but he's like a bread machine. He keeps on giving. He has a skill to handle difficult situations and know how to motivate people. He will assist him. Carmi proved that she likes the idea of helping. She keeps a positive spirit and always gives an infectious smile. She is Miss Adventure herself. She has a capacity to influence Angel to love the outdoors. Of course, Gideon, aka Pinoy Mountaineer, whose name is known in the mountaineering world, no introduction needed. His experience is vast and is very much knowledgeable. His eloquence will help Gerald visualize his path as he heads towards the summit.
Ngayon po masaya ako syempre kasi First time kong mag-hike. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung makikita ko dun sa lugar na yun. Kung malamig ba, mataas ba, o yung ambience. Siyempre, as visually impaired person, so nag-revise ako sa sounds. Tulad niyan, naririnig niyo sa background yung mga crickets or mga birds. So, siyempre ako excited. At sa buong programa, sana matapos ko siya ng makakit ako at makababa ako. So, yun lang.
Ako naman po, masaya po and super excited kasi po ang tagal ko rin po talagang pinangarap na umakyat po ng bundok.
Actually, we're very happy that our kids joined us mountaineering. It's a new experience for them. It's one way of getting them out of the house and really experiencing nature.
So the trek from the jump-off point to the base camp or the campsite is roughly around 3 kilometers. The trail will be covered under forest. The first part of the trail, I think, would be the most challenging. Here, we'll be walking along rocks, and then this rocks is very unstable. So the thing is, for a guide, guiding the blind, we have to get the best and choose the best footing. The thing also for these rocks, it can be really slippery. On the side of these rocks is a river system, and the water from the river system sometimes moves to the trail that can really be slippery. After the rocky part, of course, on the trail, it will be also muddy, and we have to choose the trail that is really dry. If the trail is muddy, it can also be slippery. After that, so mostly covered, the forest is really beautiful. I'm very excited to show the blind what the forest is. There will be different types of forest, different color of woods, so different types of rocks, the trail that we see, the scenic views of Cavite, from the leaves, from the sounds. We will see a lot of unique and different colors, different structure of what Mount Pico de Loro is. So parang in terms of guiding, actually it's not us guiding them. In a way, it's really them guiding us.
Now there's the assault part.
If you're a beginner or even an experienced hiker, it would just take 15 to 20 minutes to get up to the summit. It's just a 50-meter elevation gain. Naturally, when you're near the summit, it becomes steeper and steeper in most cases. It's a different story if you're guiding a blind person. Remember, the guides already assisted them for nearly 3 kilometers of up and down terrain. And guiding a blind person means that there are times that they have to put their weight on you, especially downhill, and if the trail becomes uneasy. At the same time, not all blind people are the same. Some used to be sighted, some are low vision, meaning they can see but it's very blurry, and some are born blind. It's easy for those who used to be sighted because they know what a concept of a mountain is. They know what a rock, tree, river, and soil look like. But for those who were born blind, you have to give them a context what those things are. The guides don't just help them walk the trail, but they also have to make the visually impaired appreciate what's around them. This means they have to describe what they are seeing at the moment. How would you describe what color yellow is to someone who was born blind? That's a challenge. The guides have to be physically strong, at the same time are equipped with the skill of entertaining the handicapped. During the assault, it will be around a 60 degree of loose soil and rock terrain. Both the guide and the blind will have to use their hands. The first part, you have roots and branches to hold on to. Then the second half, the terrain is exposed. This means no trees. They have to rely on their guides or crawl up under the heat of the sun and the strong wind.
Sige.
towards the left tayo. Tapos, ito, medyo bato tong portion na to. So, sige lang. Just follow me. More to the left. Bato yan. Pero, we're 10 steps away from the summit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're here.
Pagod? Pagod na ako. Hindi yan. Kaya ka lang kayang-kayaan. Sobrang galing mo nga eh.
Kaya pa. Kaya pa. Ako po. Kaya na ba din ko? Up. Aray. Sandali. Yung ba ako ang sakit?
Good job! Good job. 5 more steps, Gerry! 1 more. Okay, ganda. Yeah! Woo! Gerry! Woo! Congrats, Gerry.
To 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock punta nyo. Last 4 steps. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you,
Congrats, congrats!
Congrats!
I'm so excited for the kids and also for myself kasi nature lover ako during the time na sighted pa ako. And I want to see the beauty of God's creation this time.
We had great weather. We had a great team. It was really teamwork. Each of the participants were dedicated, each of the volunteers. And that's why I think I can call it as a big success. And I'm very grateful for that. I have to admit that I thought it will be more difficult than it would be to guide the visually impaired. We were walking on very steep trails and rocks, and he was just there, hindi siya nalalaglag. One of the adventure guides with us, Brenton, actually told me na para sa kanya, para mas madali pa ngang i-guide yung visually impaired compared sa ibang beginners. Very much of an enlightenment for me because parang in my mind, the image of someone visually impaired was already someone as not being that capable. I mean, someone who needs a lot of help or guidance. But in reality, they were excellent. They needed guidance, of course. They needed direction, but they beat my expectations. There are people who have disabilities, but all of us have handicaps. Emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. But what matters most is how we overcome them, how we actually decide to go outdoors and not allow our limitations to stop us. And of course, it helps if there are people who will help us achieve our dreams. And I think mountaineers, hikers, outdoorsmen should be there to be a helping hand, to make sure that the outdoors is for everyone.
Pagkakit pa lang, grabe, sobrang nakaka-challenge talaga. Pero sabi ng mga guide na 90% mental na lang talaga kasi talagang mapapagod ka eh. Lalo na sa mga matatarik na pag-akyat, sa mga rock. Tapos nasasaktan ka kasi kahit may guide, mahirap talaga iwasan yung mga ganun. Pero overall, masaya naman. Simula pagkakit pa lang kami sa campsite, lalo-lalo na sa summit.
Ang naramdaman ko po habang umaakyat ng bundok, sobrang saya po. Kasi po, dati ko na po itong pinapangarap. So ngayon natupad na po. Medyo mahirap, pero nakayanan din naman po sa tulong ni Lord tsaka po ng guide po, syempre. Nung narating ko na po yung taas, gusto ko na po talaga sumigaw na thank you Lord, narating ko rin po yung summit.
Kahit di ko man nakita yung summit, kahit nahirapan ako dun sa after ng campsite, tapos pumunta dun sa summit, masaya talaga. Kasi yung pakaramdam na nasa taas ka, pakaramdam na abot tanaw mo lahat kahit di mo nakikita. Sa mga next generation din na visually impaired, huwag kayo mawalan ng pag-asa kasi naranasan nyo din to.
Sobrang nakakapagod, pero sobrang nakaka-enjoy din at the same time. We were motivating them, encouraging them na kaya din nila.
This hike is very special to me because I was able to be with my fellow PWD. I'm very happy that each and every one of us was able to reach the summit. It's very inspiring for me. We are very fortunate we had this opportunity and now we're sharing it to everyone.
Go to the baby!
Almost there, almost there. Less than 10 steps. To your left. Your left. To 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock punta nyo. Last 4 steps. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. Thank you, Pat.
Congrats!
Once we got to the summit, team decided to stay in the campsite. So,
So we were on our way down, knowing that Tim decided to stay at the campsite. And then by our surprise, andun siya.
Good job. Within reach, within reach. Yung boses na yun, narinig mo? That's it. That's the summit. Yeah. Rest, rest, rest. It's okay. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Water, water. It's not a race, it's not a race.
Relax. Dami na, wala na akong lakas.
Sige, rest muna, rest. Hinga.
You've reached so far. You're like
Kaya ko ba to?
Kaya, ay, ayun na oh.
99
Come on guys! Cheer for team!
99.8%, dude.
Oh, ha?
Team positive!
Sige.
Okay lang ba to? Big
Sure,
win.
sige, sige.
Kailangan ko lang eh. Lakas lang.
Wala yan.
Good job, Daryl. Yes.
Kaya ko ba ito mga kuya?
Oo, kaya!
Dude,
Yung nadidinig ko ba sa... Yun ba yung tok-tok?
yun na yun, yun na yun. Stone throw away.
No limits, no limits. Tapang, sige. Nice team!
Oh, God.
Nice team! Nice one team!
You made it.
You made it, dude. You made it.
Actually, masasabi ko sa pag-akit ng bundok ay sobrang saya, lalo na nung ma-achieve yung pinaka-tuktok. Oo, sa una mahirap dahil walang experience. Papasalamat ako sa Panginoon dahil sa tulong niya. Kundi dahil sa Kanya ay hindi naman natin mararating o magagawa lahat.